Okay. So only difference for the public surname, private surname. For the private surname, we should not use the public here keyword. So for the public surname, we have to use the public keyword here. Okay. So create public surname name for table name. We have to give like this. But for this, we must have the DBA rights. Okay. So in the visualizations, you will have the DBA rights, but whereas in the real time, we should not have the DBA rights. We have to request for the DBA to create the public surnames. Okay. So and you have to justify why it is required. So what is the purpose? Everything you have to mention. Then only after approval of the your manager, then only they will create the public surnames. But for this private surnames, you can create a number of private surnames. So there is no issue. Okay. So simply here, if you see, this is the public surname I created for this table EMP. Okay. So again, I'm going to create this. That means already name is available. Once it is created, it is saying name already is for the existing object. You can create underscore 01. Suppose if you say for the DEPT table. Okay. Create public surname XX table 19 PS underscore 1 for DEPT. So then this surname can be used anywhere in this. Suppose in the now I came into the HR schema. Then I'm using the public surname. So here insufficient privileges. So here what is it saying? Ask your database administrator to designated security administrator grant the access privilege. For that he has to create the provide the access to this surnames. So he has to grant some grant permissions on this surname. Then only you can access this public surname. But here we are not having that right, so that we are creating only private surnames only. But this is the format is same here for the creating the private surname or public surname. Both the syntax is same only except this public keyword. Okay.
So after grant, we can access from HR schema.
Yeah. Once the DBA can give the grants on the public schema, public surname, you can access that one. Okay. So otherwise it will throw the error like that, insufficient privileges. Okay. So but directly you can access the table. Suppose I have created the on the department table. But this department table, how can you access in the HR schema? Suppose if we say select star from DEPT, then here in the schema, HR schema, we don't have the department table, so that it is throwing the error table or view does not exist. So to access the app schema table, then you have to use the apps.dept. Then also it is throwing the error. Why? Because so other schemas will have the access to the app schema. From all the other schemas, you will have the access to the app schema. From access app schema, you can access all the schemas tables and synonyms, packages, everything. That means by default, from all the other schemas, you will have the access to the app schema. But from the app schema, you don't have the access to this other schema. So that has to give the grants first. Then only you could able to access. Suppose now this is the department table. So that is insufficient privilege saying. But whereas previously we have created one table here. Okay. XXAP invoices all table. So this table, so I'm using with the schema name here. Okay. So same schema name dot table name. In this scenario, I'm using here. Okay. But this table without giving the grants itself, but still we are able to access here. Okay. Why? Because from HR schema to app schema, default grants will be there. So that you can access the HR schema tables using this schema name dot table name. Okay, suppose if I create one more table here, so I will create with the other name underscore 01 I'm creating. Okay, new table name I'm creating. Okay. Table is created and that also I'm inserting here. So now I'm going to use this. So I'm having the 3 records in this, but now same I'm going to use it here. So first I will, without the schema name, it is throwing the error. With the schema name, sorry, with the schema name, still I am not getting. Why? Because here I didn't done commit here. Okay. So now we can access this. I'm getting the data. But same way, suppose if I create a table here, text underscore test 19 underscore 02 as select star from repeating. Okay. So table is created. Now you can check this table. Select star from xx underscore test 19 underscore 02. So you have the data here. Okay. So same table, if I want to access from this HR schema, is it possible? So it is throwing the error. Suppose if I mention the apps dot, so still it is giving the error. Why? Because so from other schemas to app schema, there will be default grants will be there. From apps to HR schema, there is no grants will be there. So that first we have to give the grants. Grant all on to, here you can say apps HR. Okay, grant all on apps dot this table to HR. Now grant succeeded. Now you can use this. That means once you created and given the grants, then it is with the schema name dot table name it is giving the data. But without the schema name it is again throwing the error. For that you can create a synonym here. If you want, you can create the synonym. Create synonym. Same name I will give. Underscore s I will give synonym. Okay. For apps dot this table name. Replace synonym. Synonym name for, okay, not from, it is for, okay, for apps dot this table name. Now the synonym is created, this one. With the synonym also, you can access the data. Okay, same data you are able to access it. But this synonym cannot be used in the app schema, right? Because the synonym is created in the HR schema. So when you use this in the app schema, it will throw the error. Why? Because this synonym will be available for this HR schema only. Because this is a private synonym. We created with the creator replace synonym name. Here it is a private synonym. It is not the public synonym. If you create the public synonym with the help of DBA, then it can be directly accessed in this app schema also. But for that, we need to give the grants. Before that, grants we have to provide. So like this grant all on apps dot this table name to HR. Likewise, same for the public synonym also you have to provide the grants, then also you will be able to access that one. Okay. Any more doubts?
No, sir. Clear, sir.
So why we create the SNM? So in general, in the real time, whatever the tables we are creating, that will be on the custom schemas. Okay, not in the app schema. So app schema will have the only will create the packages and required information. With that only we'll able to access the data from the different custom schemas. Okay, so if you want to create some table, you have to create in the custom schema only. So for that custom schema table, you have to create the SNM in the app schema. Okay, in the packages, if you are developing some packages, in that package, if you want to that you use the custom schema table, you should not mention HR dot table name like that. You have to mention only either table name or either SNM name only, or else apps dot that the table name or SNM name you have to mention. You should not mention the custom schema name so that it is implemented in the SNMs. Okay, so SNM is as the same as the table data. Suppose if you created the SNM on the one table, so it will get the same table data and it will display. When you use this select star from the SNM name, you will get the same data whatever in the table. Okay. Next views. So why it is introduced means we have some drawbacks in the SNM. So the drawbacks will be overwrite while using the views. What are the drawbacks? So you cannot possible to create a SNM on multiple tables. Okay. So when you are creating the SNM, you can create on the one object only. SNM can be created on the one object only. That is in the either table or view or some package like that. On that only you can able to create the SNM with the entire object only. Okay. So it is not possible to create a SNM on multiple tables, and it is not possible to create SNM on particular columns. Okay. Suppose in the table you are having the employee table, you are having a 8 columns, but I want to create for the 4 columns. It is not possible to create a SNM. Okay. So it is not possible to create a SNM on a particular record. So that we are using this views. So with the views you can create on the multiple tables and in the particular columns, whatever the columns you want, you can create a view, and also on the particular records also you can create the views. View is nothing but an image table or virtual table which is created for a base table. It is a virtual table to hide the base table, and it works like a mirror image of the table. It does not have own structure. It is not possible to modify the structure of the table by using the views. So we can define view on the SNM and SNM on the views. Okay. View can be created by taking all values from the base table or by taking only selected values from the base table. Any modifications made through a view automatically updated the base table and vice versa. View is also a database object which will store a query in the compiled format. Hence it is called as a stored query or view. Okay, views can also be called as a stored query. If any changes in the view automatically reflected in the table and vice versa. View supports only DML and DQL operations. Okay, all views are stored in the all underscore views and user underscore views. These are the base tables for the views. So what is the advantage of the views? So views can provide high security, improves performance, network traffic gets reduced, shortens the SQL queries. Supposed to perform summarized calculation fastly. Supposed to insert, update, delete related data. We can retrieve the data from many tables using the joins. So normally how the query will execute in the SQL. So whenever we are executing the query, so how the process will go. So when I execute the query, so first it will go to Oracle engine. From the whatever the SQL queries will be there, it will go to SQL engine. And again it will go back to Oracle engine. So next it will go to Oracle database and it will check the data dictionary and it will have the metadata, and after that it will verify the actual data. So any query, whenever you are executing any query, first it will go to Oracle engine. From there, automatically it will separate the SQL queries into, and it will pass to SQL engine. All the PLSQL query or whatever the PLSQL blocks are there, that will pass to the PLSQL block. Okay. After that, when it is sent to SQL engine, so it will execute in the SQL engine and it will send the data back to the Oracle engine. Okay, then again it will go to Oracle database and Oracle will verify data dictionary and metadata and actual data it will verify, and lastly you will get the data output. So we have the views, different views are there. So one is simple view or read write view. Select, insert, update, delete, we can perform on this simple view. And another is read only views. On the read only views, you will have the only select only. Next is check option views. Next is complex view, force view, and materialized view. These are the 5 types we are going to use this views. And the simple view means it will be created on the one table only. Okay. It is used to define a view on a single table, then it is a simple view. It can perform all DML operations like insert, update, and delete on the simple view. When base table is dropped, view will stop working. So when you create a view on the table, suppose if the table is deleted or dropped, and then view won't work. When the base table is retrieved means recreated or restored, then view will starts working. Okay. So how will you create the view? This is the syntax. Create view, view name as select star from table name and where condition. So whatever this where condition is, this is the optional only. But this is the default syntax is create view, view name as select star from table name. And for the force view, so this is the default syntax. Create or replace force view or no force. View, view name as select query with read only or with check option. Okay. We'll create table EMP 19 as select star from EMP. Okay. So table is created. So how will you create the simple view? Create or replace view simple view underscore 19 I will say as select star from EMP19. So I'm creating the view here with the SV underscore 19. Create or replace view SV underscore 19 as select star from EMP19. On this table, I'm going to create the view here. Okay. So now you can use this view. Select star from EMP19. This is the table name we are created. In same way, select star from SV underscore 19. This is the view name we are created. So same EMP19 also having the 14 records. When you use the view also, simple view also, then we are getting the same value here. Okay. Suppose if I remove the table, drop table is our table. So table is dropped. When you verify this simple view, it is throwing the error. Okay. apps.sv underscore 19 has errors. Attempts to execute a stored procedure or use a view that has errors. That means after creating the view, I have deleted the base table for this view. Okay. This is the simple view created on the EMP19 table. Now the table is dropped so that the view is not working. Suppose again if you recreate this table. Okay. So I'm going to create this table. Again, I will verify this. You select star from SV underscore 19, then I'm getting the data here. That means when you delete the base table, which is used for the creation of the simple view, then we want that simple view won't working. So again, if you created the same table, then the view started working. Okay. So how will you insert the data into simple view? Okay. This is the simple view created. Okay. So now I'm going to insert into this view SV underscore 19, and I will insert employee number, name, job. Only these three columns I'm going to use. Values, employee number you can say 1000, employee name you can give some name here, and job you can say HR. Now I'm inserting where I'm inserting. Insert into simple view, that is SV underscore 19 with the column names. Then sorry. Okay, one row inserted. Okay, check this table. So how many records is showing? 15. This is the last record we have inserted. So now we inserted through simple view. So can we check the table? This is the table. Same 15 records available here. Okay. So when you do insert operation in the simple view, automatically it is reflected in the table also. Okay. So this is the insert statement. Same way you can use the update also. Using the simple statement, simple view, you can use the update also. Update sp underscore 19. Okay, set ename is equals to some abcd, where ename is equals to a. Okay, so here already insert statement used for the view simple view. Same way you are using the update statement, update using the simple view. That name is equals to abcd, where ename is equals to a. So in this now we are having the 1000 a HR it is there. Wherever this a plus we are going to replace with abcd now. So one record is updated. You can check this simple view. So here abcd it is came. Same way in the table also it is reflecting. Okay, abcd. Okay. So where can you check the views details? You can check in this table. So all underscore views. So select owner comma view name from all underscore views, where view name is equals to sv underscore 19. Then it is the owner name apps view name sv underscore 19. Okay. Simply you can use this all underscore views. If you use this, and we can use the select star from all underscore views. Okay. These are all the existing views. In that, how can you find our user defined views? Where view underscore name like XX percentage something. Okay. So then all the views starting with the XX you can find out here. Okay. So whenever it is starting with the XX means that means user defined objects. These are all user defined objects. Okay. So tomorrow we'll continue with the remaining example. So that is, so now we completed the simple view. So complex view is there, force view is there. Okay. And check option view is there. Last materialized view. We'll continue tomorrow Sunday, no class, and Monday onwards. Okay, Monday will continue class. Same time, morning 8 o'clock. Okay. So any doubts on this simple view? Okay. We'll continue on Monday.